Anyiella, I got your program here, the 1.05. I like your program. I like your pseudocode. So you answer the questions at the bottom. There's one part of your pseudocode you forgot to put in your program. You're going to ask what's the name of a letter. No, what name of an animal starts with a letter. You forgot to put that input statement. It never asked that. So you end up with only two input statements instead of three. But I want to talk about your print statements and how your program works overall, because there's some things that don't really work correctly. I mean, it's not an error in Python. There's no errors there, but it's logic errors because it doesn't really produce what it should. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here's your program. So when I run it, what is your name? Well, I'm going to put my name as Darren. That's my name. What sound does a narwhal make? Uh, I don't know, actually, but I don't know. And that's it. So it only asked me two things because you forgot the second one. But let's look at this. It says, hi, I'm a chatbot. And it says, hi, Anyiella. I didn't put my name was Anyiella. And it says the second letter of your name is N. No, the second letter of my name is A. And then it says, I challenge you to name an animal starts with N, which is fine. You can say it, but you forgot the input statement. That never happened. And it says, oh, I saw a narwhal in my pool yesterday. Anyiella, you sound silly clicking like that. Again, my name's not Anyiella. It was nice chatting with you. And it, again, calls me Anyiella. So that's where that concatenation part is supposed to be. You didn't have concatenation there. I was looking on the template, and you're supposed to have concatenation. All of yours are just simple print statements. Hi, what's your name? Hi, Anyiella. It shouldn't say hi, Anyiella. You have my name. You saved it right there under username. So this should be hi and delete all of this because we don't know what they're going to enter as their name plus username. This is concatenation. I want it to print hi and then whatever they enter as their name. What is your name? If I'm going to ask their name, I should call them by name. So if I did this again, if I just change that one line, what's your name? Darren. Sounds he make boo. I don't know what he makes. Now it says hi Darren. Wonderful. And then you actually used indexing to pull the second letter out of my name, but you said it's in. Again, if we delete this plus second letter, see now it pulls second letter out of there. Now it'll actually use that properly. If I run it again, Darren, boo. Now it says the second letter of your name is A. It actually printed what you calculated. You calculated the second letter. You did that right there. That's great. You just didn't use it anywhere. And you could still have challenge you to name an animal starts with letter N. We could change that to animal equals input. And then you can say, oh, instead of animal. And then you could change this. Oh, I saw a quote plus animal quote plus. I'm sorry, not quote. Plus a quote in my pool yesterday. And then you can say what sound does a narwhal make, or you could say what sound does it if we want to say whatever animal I entered. But if I run it again, Darren, challenge your name and animal starts with letter N. Uh, let's see. What if I didn't think of a narwhal? What would I answer there? Gosh, there's not many that start with an N in there, is there? Start with the letter N. Hmm. Nothing. That's funny. Sounds an narwhal make. Boo. Says I saw nothing in my pool yesterday. That's funny, just because I typed nothing. But see, it's using what I entered in the conversation. Because you weren't using anything I entered in the conversation in there. Your print statements were going to print exactly what they're going to print every single time I ran it. It didn't matter what I entered on those input statements. It's always going to say the exact same thing. So we would want to take out this Anyiella right here and put what would you call it? You called it username. So we call this username plus, and then nice chatting with you, quote, plus username plus quote. See, take these out of quotes and use what they told you, what they said. So if I said, "What's your name?" It's Darren. Tell your name in letters. Starts with letter N. A new puppy. See, just what sound does an owl make? A boo. I don't know. This is hi, Darren. Second letter name's A. I saw a new puppy in my pool yesterday. Darren, you sound silly clicking like that. It was nice chatting with you, Darren. See, use what they have in the conversation. Didn't matter who ran your program. The conversation was always going to be exactly the same, and it was going to call the person Anyiella because that's exactly what you had in the print statement. So that's why we use the concatenation, so we can change what the print statements say to whatever the variables entered. So good job on getting the indexing in there, but you didn't use the indexing. You pulled out the second letter of the name, but you didn't print it. You didn't use it. You had N as theirs, no matter what anyone types. So few tips there, things to work on, things to improve in our programming skills, because it's going to get more complicated as we go along. We're going to want to use some of this concatenation and things like that, variables, and printing those. Oh, and you didn't have a defined main. I didn't have that spelled out in the template, but every program should have a defined main function because that's going to become important later on. So, all right, I'll get this feedback to you, and I'll see you in class.